The popular Azure AD has gotten a new name, Microsoft Entra ID. That's what Adnan and I are going to be talking to you about in this episode. Let's check it out. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tech Talk Show. And Adnan is back again on the Tech Talk. Hi, Adnan. Welcome back to the Tech Talk Show.
Hi, Kazeem. It's great to be back.
Adnan, before we delve in, how about a little introduction from you?
Hi, I'm Adnan. I'm a trader, consultant, architect for the Microsoft Cloud, Azure, and I do a lot of security.
So let's kick things off with an overview of the Entra ID. So did you mind to walk us through an overview of it and what are its key features, that differentiate it perhaps from the old, if I can call it that now, Azure AD? Is there any difference between the old Azure AD and now the Entra ID, or are they still the same?
Well, Kazeem, it's really just been a big rebranding of the name of the product. So Azure AD will be called Entra ID, Microsoft Entra ID. So where you used to have like the free P1, P2, and also external identities, they are now known as Microsoft Entra ID free and Microsoft Entra P1, Entra ID P2, and Entra ID external identities. So it's really just a naming change, but it's a good direction in which Microsoft is trying to really position this as a new identity and access management product that they're providing that's going to be bringing new security capabilities above and beyond what we already have. But as the features, the functionality, it's got a whole different look and feel, and that's something that I'll show later on when we have a look.
What are the reasons behind the transition from Microsoft AD to Entra ID? Are there any limitation or gaps in the previous Azure AD that Microsoft is looking to correct in the new Entra ID?
No, not so much gaps, but it's more the new features and functionality that they'll be making available and how the product works in a much better user-friendly way, because that's how I see it for myself. Later on, when we look at the product, you'll see that just finding things is maybe a lot easier for some people, and also just immediately getting access to those new features and the premium add-on security functionality, which is going to benefit customers as a whole.
So it would be nice at that something. So can you show us some of the changes that we have from the portal site now?
Sure. Let me just share my screen. So hopefully everybody will be seeing my screen. I've got the Microsoft Entra Admin Center, and getting access to that is just entra.microsoft.com. Whereas in the old Azure Active Directory, which was get access through the Azure portal, and you can see when I have on my left, I have home, favorites, and then the different segments for identity and access management, where you have your users groups. And then protection is where we have the security features, so things like conditional access, security center, identity protection, password resets. So basically, they've taken a lot of the features and functionality pertaining to a specific set within the identity management and access and security, and then just apply them below. The advanced features, such as identity governance, a lot of these extra features are extra cost, thereby verifiable credentials as well. And then things like permissions management, which is also an extra add-on feature that helps you just maintain who has access to what, getting access to risk of identities, and then some of the new features which they will probably just be listed below that. And just to quickly show that you have the old Azure AD from the Azure portal, where you have the left, everything is just really listed on the side below. So just going to users, you'll see that I get access to my users. In the old product, you'll see a lot of references to Azure Active Directory becoming Microsoft Entra ID. And just taking you back to my identity for my users, you'll see that it's basically the same view and scope. It's really just where those items are placed that's being moved or within the new rebranding of identity and access management within Microsoft portfolio.
Okay. So, and then security is a critical aspect of any identity management system. So I want to ask, are there any new security improvements that comes with Entra ID to help protect identities and sensitive data?
Well, personally, I think there are a lot of new security features and functionality coming in the next couple of months. As you can see, we already have access to the made availability of a preview for global secure access. So there's a lot of new security functionality or products, add-on premium security products coming that's above the existing licensing. For example, for workload identities, where you can manage access to data and resources. And then with the new features that's made available, such as global secure access and private access, it's really just to provide access or extra security on a network profile level, so that we can use conditional access along with zero trust network access. So we don't just have zero trust identities and device trust, we can also have network trust. So there's a lot of new features that's coming, and a lot of them will be add-on features.
This particular episode is just an intro, right? An overview into the new Entra ID. So hopefully Adnan and I would try to do a little bit more to cover each and every one of these blades, identity protection, the governance aspect of things in a little bit more detail in subsequent episodes. But just before we say bye-bye now, Adnan, for those interested in learning more, before we come up with those other videos, where can they find additional information?
Well, additional information is right in the portal. So at the start page, you have access to a lot of items within Entra. For example, if you go to Microsoft Learn, so within Microsoft Learn, you have a lot of these getting started items within the different segments. So you'll see a lot of the extra security features, for example, the Entra Internet Access, Entra Private Access, which are the new security features, and then things like workload ID, governance, where a lot of the new functionality and features come in. So within Microsoft Learn, and like you said, we'll be doing more tech in-depth on how Entra works, basis on identity and access management, access to applications, resources, and most of these security features.
All right. It's a wrap on this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more interesting episodes just like this one. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I know that we went down. I know that went